we've been as efficient as we could be for the last 5, 6, 7 years, and we always give ourselves a little bit of wiggle room, and in case any unexpected or unforeseen things come about. But last year, I thought it was very telling that we had about $800,000 in unexpected costs associated with our flood, our 2 tornadoes, and the heavy amounts of snowfall and the weather this last winter. So all those things considered, still came in 9% under budget. A lot of it is every day we look at being more efficient and as efficient as we can be, and that's just the direction from every department, every manager. From the top to bottom.
So you addressed the elimination of the business personal property tax at the State of the City address last night. Are you preparing for those cuts coming up?
Well, I've had a couple meetings with the governor, with a group of mayors. Usually, I think each time it's been 6 or 8 of us. I'm involved in the Indiana Association of Cities and Towns, and we're discouraged by the fact that over the last few years there's been a concentrated effort to really defund local government, whether it be at the county level, the city level, or within our public school system. And it's very telling. A few years ago, the Indiana General Assembly raised the sales tax in Indiana from 6 cents to 7 cents. That's a 16% tax increase on sales here in Indiana. And this is the same body that raises a tax in Indiana 16%, but yet they want to keep cutting and forcing cuts within local government. And I equate it this way, that I equate to losing weight. In general, it's usually a good idea to lose weight, and we can all look to ways to improve ourselves. But at some point, it becomes unhealthy, and it becomes a distraction, and it may not be in our long-term best interest. And that's what worries me about these cuts that are just broad in nature, this business personal property tax cut. It helps a lot of multinational corporations that are maybe invested here in Indiana, but not necessarily headquartered here, and puts the burden back on our residents and our small business owners, our farmers, and alike, and forces local government to possibly have to either raise local taxes or fees or things like that. And there's just a lot of bad ideas. One of the ideas talks about, and this is contained in House Bill 1001, pitting county versus county on making it a county option to eliminate the business personal property tax. Now, obviously, we compete with other counties in general for residents and for businesses, but why escalate that? I keep asking the question. I can show you respected economists that say we should work on regional collaboration and regional cooperation, but no economist that I've ever found says that we should try to pit all 92 counties against each other for economic development. And they seem to be stuck on that idea, and obviously we'll see how this all ends as the session comes to a close here in a few weeks.
You also mentioned last night, we of course had some crazy weather. I assume that Kokomo has some of the same problems as other cities in terms of potholes.
Yeah, we have our fair share. What's interesting, we had largest amount of recorded snowfall in our county's history, I think it was over 61 inches so far this winter. And we still have a few weeks of possible inclement weather left, but I tell people, yes. I even tried to joke about it a little bit last night in the State of the City that this is not news. We're going to have a lot of potholes. We've set up a hotline to try to report the worst ones, and I think people understand it in general. We would all love to have wouldn't it be nice if every street was all brand new and perfect and all that, but people do understand.
You also spoke last night about investing into the infrastructure of people, and I assume you were referring to the city's need for developing more residential downtown area. Is that what you were referring to?
Well, there's no simple answer to any of the problems our city or any city's facing. But Kokomo historically has been a manufacturing and a employment hub for this region, and still is. And we want to continue that. And as I stated last night, that government at all levels have always invested in whether it be utilities or railroads and canals of the past, in business parks and industrial parks and things like that. Communities have always been, and local government have been partners with private development. We need to do that as well on the residential end. We have, and sometime I would love to take you through a tour of Kokomo. We have some of the beautiful suburbs that a lot of them have been so well maintained over the last 5-6 decades. I mean, they look, I mean, they're just very nice, and we need those. But we also need the urban option, a little more of an urban option for the two groups that are pushing that, and that is the baby boomers, who are now empty nesters and looking at a more walkable urban feel, and then the millennials. Those two demographics are really pushing for that type of living, and we need to be partners with private developers to make sure we have that housing option, especially when you consider that the Indiana General Assembly is pushing us away from dependency on property taxes from corporations. We need to, government's going to be funded just like schools now, that a lot of the dollars follow the student. It's not where they live, what district they live in, it's where they attend. And that's starting to happen as well for local government, and we need to make sure we have people here as residents as well.
We're here up on the 3rd floor of City Hall, and I can hear construction going on in the background, so I assume there's also construction in progress right now.
Just catty corner from City Hall. We had announced it last year. We're building a new four-level parking garage that on the 5th floor will have 33 resident apartments, private development that will take place once the parking garage is built. The city will own and maintain the parking garage, private development on the 5th floor. Each one will have some outdoor space, either a balcony or an internal courtyard. And across from that, once it's completed, we're using it for surface parking now, but once it's completed, we announced last year, we're in the process of finalizing our fundraising drive, and we're going to build a $16 million new downtown YMCA across from the parking garage. And so that we're hoping to break ground on that late summer, maybe early fall, once we can shift the parking back over to the garage. So yeah, we have it's not a bad thing to hear construction going on during the day.
And you'll be hearing construction a little bit louder up here on this 3rd floor. More renovations coming to City Hall too?
Yes. Last year, this building is 30. This year will be 31 years old. Last year we did a major renovation to the outside of the building, put in some new public space, a public fountain, some local artwork outside of City Hall, and we also remodeled the council chambers on the 1st floor, the atrium when you come in, and put in a public stairway, and worked on the public areas on the 1st floor. This year we're going to finish out the 2nd and 3rd floor public areas. Won't be as extensive as what we did last year. But we're obviously going to finish it out, and so we can call the project complete. Some of those things as opposed to the desk, but the lighting will